Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another book video. I'm so excited for this video. I've been thinking about it like all year. I love watching these tier ranking videos. They're some of my favorite videos to watch, especially book ones. And I've never made one. This is my first one. So I'm gonna do tier ranking every single book that I read this year in 2022, which is a lot. I read 182 books this year. So I'm gonna try to go through these pretty quickly. And then I will link all of my monthly reading wrap-up videos in the description if you want to hear my more in-depth thoughts on any of these books. I'm going to briefly go over my tiers and explain them. Okay, my first tier is God tier. It's the best of the best, my favorites of the year. Like, these are my top books. Second one is Still Thinking About You. This was almost a 5-star, almost God tier, but like the vibe wasn't there. You know, I feel like 5-star reads, they're kind of based off of a lot of like vibes and how it makes you feel. So these ones were almost that. Next is Almost Loved It. These are like my 3.5 to 4-star reads, ones that were like really good and I liked it, but it just wasn't like amazing, or there were things about it that I didn't love, but like it was still a good book. Next one is Cute But Forgettable, or Regav, regular average. Books that were good and I had a good time while I was reading it, but like I can't remember anything about it now. Next tier is It Was a Book. These are books I just really didn't like. And then the last tier is I want my time back. Like, I want my money back. I want the time I spent reading this book back. Like, that's how much I didn't like it, is like I wish I could erase it and get that time back. I put all of my little books in here and they are not in the order read at all. They are all in like complete random order, so I'm just gonna go for it. First book in here is Verity by Colleen Hoover. This one I would probably put in Almost Loved It. When I originally read this, I gave it 5 stars, and I feel like a lot of these books that I read at the beginning of the year, my opinions of them have changed throughout the year, and like as I have read like more and more, like I feel differently about some of these. So thinking about it now at the end of the year, this is one of like the first books I read this year. Like I would only put it in this like 3 to 4-ish star. Haunting Adeline. This is so hard. This is so hard because I feel like it like doesn't fit in any of these categories. I'm gonna put this one in I Almost Loved It. Even though I have like a lot of opinions about this one, there was a lot of stuff I really didn't like about this book, but also it's just like a very memorable book. The second one, I'm kind of stuck between Almost Loved It and Still Thinking About You. I'm gonna put it in Almost Loved It also. I have really mixed reviews about these ones because they are just like really intense, dark books. Like definitely look up trigger warnings if you're gonna try those. Then She Was Gone. This was a good thriller, but also it was like very predictable. Same with The Good Lie. I was super entertained by this one, but nothing about it really like stands out to me now. Love Light Farms is going to Still Thinking About You. That was a really good one. Very cute, Friends to Lovers. November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Oh, I just don't even know. This one is another one that like at the beginning of the year, I gave this 5 stars. I like thought it was amazing. I think I'm gonna put that in It Was a Book, which is such a drastic difference from when I originally read it, but like it just hits different now. I guess I could go in regular average. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of problematic things about that book. Daisy Jones and the Six. I almost loved it. In 5 Years, Cute But Forgettable. This book is really sad. I went into this thinking it was going to be a cutesy little romance. It is a book about cancer. It's super sad. Last Thing He Told Me. It was a book. I was not impressed by this one at all. I thought it was so bizarre and boring. Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. This is going into Still Thinking About You. There's a trope at the end of this book that I hate so much, but I am still willing to overlook it and give it that like 4-star rating because it was just so good up until this really annoying thing that happens at the end. Beach Read. I don't know why I just love this one so much. It's a God tier for me. Luckiest Girl Alive. This was a book. Okay, now we're into this little mafia series, The Sweetest Oblivion. This is the first one in the series. I'm gonna put that one in I Almost Loved It. This one was really good. The mafia man in this book has an arranged marriage with this girl, but ends up falling in love with the girl's sister. And it was really angsty and really good. I thought I liked it. But the second 2 in the series, just not great. I'll put them in the Cute But Forgettable. The Wives by Taryn Fisher. Good but forgettable. 'Tis the Season for Revenge. I just read this one in December. This is gonna have to go in Cute but Forgettable too. Pen Pal by JT Gessinger. This book was crazy. If you read any books by her, she throws the biggest plot twists into her books. They get me every time. This book was crazy. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I don't know like what category to put this in because it's a memoir. I don't know, I guess I'd still put it there, like kind of like just good. Praise, same thing, cute but forgettable, nothing special, but like I still enjoyed reading it. Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. This is gonna go in, it's a book. This is a thriller and it was like kind of interesting, but it is a like time loop trope and I hate that. Hush Hush by Lucia Franco. I want my money back. I want my time back. Absolutely hated this. Off to the Races was also just a book. I just didn't like it. It wasn't for me, but it wasn't a bad book, so I don't know, I'll put it there. Ugh, the After series. Ugh, okay, this is hard because as entertained as I was by these books, I'm gonna put them both in I Want My Time Back because these books are so effing long and so bad. Letters to the Lost, a cute, sad, young adult book. Sea of Ruin, this is going up here to God tier, one of my favorite books I read this year. Check trigger warnings before you read that one because it's kind of intense, but I really liked that one. Scandalized, Still Thinking About You. It's very fun and very smutty. Heartless by Elsie Silver. I almost loved this one. It was really good, but like nothing amazing. Flawless, I would put in Still Thinking About You. I liked that one better than Heartless. Meriture One, it was a book. This one had so much potential, but just really didn't work for me. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. Also, it was a book. More mafia romance right here. We'll go Sophie Lark Underworld series. First one in that is Yvonne. I'm gonna put Yvonne in Still Thinking About You. No, I'm gonna put Yvonne in I Almost Loved You. And then the next two in that series, Snow and Roman, are both just gonna go into regular average. I also have her Kingmaker series right here. The first one in the series that's gonna go up here and Almost Loved It too. That one was really good. The Rebel and The Bully will go in cute but forgettable. And then The Spy I'll put up here and Almost Loved It too because that one was just like a really good, nice like wrap up of the series, even though there is one more. No Exit by Taylor Adams. This was like a really good thriller, but for some reason thrillers just like don't stay memorable to me and like don't really stand out to me. So I'm gonna put that in cute but forgettable also. Love Letter to Whiskey. Oof. I'm stuck between these two, but I'm gonna go with It Was a Book because now thinking about it, I feel like I can like understand these characters a little bit more. After like initially reading it, it was so frustrating because this is like a right person, wrong time, miscommunication trope. The Perfect Marriage, this was a book. I hated the ending of this book, so I'm gonna put it there. They Never Saw Me Coming, same thing. I don't want all the thrillers I read to like end up in that category, but that's just kind of like how it's feeling. The Locked Door though, that was good. The twists were pretty good. Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. I am gonna put that one in It Was a Book also. I feel like this is another one that had so much good potential, but just like didn't work for me. Local Woman Missing, this I'm gonna put into regular average. I did like this one. The Dead Romantics, same thing, kind of going into that forgettable category. That is a good like fall read though. The Alice Network, I'm gonna put that one in I Almost Loved It. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it in regular average too. Sorry. Rock, Paper, Scissors, cute but forgettable. Just regular. The Lion's Den, this one I really liked. This is like a really good domestic thriller where there is a lot of drama between friends and there's like also some romance in here too. I really liked that combination. Atomic Habits, it was a book. I don't know. Everybody raves about this one, but for me, everything in there just felt like so self-explanatory or like just so obvious that I didn't get the hype. Maybe not. I want my money back. Someone Else's Honeymoon. This was also just kind of a book. You know, I don't remember hardly anything about this one. I remember it just being like very below average. Every Last Secret by A.R. Torr. This one I'm gonna put up here and I Almost Loved It. I thought this was a really good thriller. It's another one that's like just a domestic thriller and there's a lot of drama between friends. Bright Side by Kim Holden. She's gonna go up here and Still Thinking About You. I loved the characters and I was heartbroken at the end. But then Gus, that's the second book in this series and I'm gonna put that in cute but forgettable. I liked seeing the rest of Gus's story and like getting some closure on him, but it was boring. It was super boring and I didn't really care about the romance in that book at all. A Flicker in the Dark, I'm gonna put that one also in It Was a Book. Nora Goes Off Script, This one's going up in my God tier. Favorite ones of this year. I don't know what it was about this book. It gave me the 5-star feeling. It was really good. And it was really short. It's like a super short, easy read. Highly recommend. Perfect Strangers, also by JT Gessinger. I'm gonna put that one up here in Still Thinking About You. Also, same author as Pen Pal. Absolutely crazy. You never know what is coming next in her books. The plot twists that she does are just like so unbelievable, so out of nowhere. You don't see them coming. Like, it's just crazy. They Never Learn. I'm gonna put her in Almost Loved It. This was a really good thriller. Also didn't see the plot twist coming at all. Beauty and the Baller. It was Reg Av. I liked the small town vibes in this one, but it was like nothing spectacular. This one's going up here in my favorite reads of the year. I really liked this one. This is like a really good fast-paced thriller that keeps you super hooked the whole time. Flock, I'm gonna put in It Was a Book because it was really good and fun and spicy for like most of it, but like these books are just so confusing and so stupid. So I'll put that one there because I was here for the spice. But Exodus, I'm gonna put in I Want My Time Back. It wasn't for me. The Brighter the Light, I'm also gonna put in It Was a Book. This was a literary fiction book that I felt like had absolutely no plot or purpose at all. And when it was over, I was like, what did I just read? Hopeless, I Want My Time Back. I Want My Money Back. This one was so much more messed up than I was expecting. I feel like nobody talks about how triggering this book is, and I'm confused by everybody saying that that's like their favorite book. If You Tell, this is a memoir about like a really awful abusive woman. It's a true story. Yikes. I am gonna say It Was a Book. Faking with Benefits by Lily Gold. This is like my first reverse harem book that I've ever read, and I'm still thinking about you. I don't think I rated this one very high, but it was very memorable and it was really fun and spicy. If you need some spice in your life, that's the one. This Devil series by Elizabeth Oark. I loved this series. So A Deal with the Devil. That one's gonna go up here in Still Thinking About You. This whole series is just so good, so fun. The first one is a girl and her boss and like their romance, and it is so funny. Such good banter. Love it. The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea, also up here in this category. I liked this one even better than the first one. This is about a girl who goes on a family vacation with her boyfriend and ends up falling in love with her boyfriend's brother, who is just a chef's kiss of a boy. He was a great book boyfriend. A very fun book. Read them in order, but like that one was just so good. And then The Devil You Know, I hate to say it, but that one's just gonna go in cute but forgettable. Mr. Wrong Number, also cute but forgettable. Confidence of Wildflowers, I would like my time and money back, please. This book gave me the ick the whole time. And then the god-awful tragedy that happens at the end of this book, ugh, I hated it. The Mindfuck series, ooh, up here in my god tier. Loved the Mindfuck series. Amazing. Megan Quinn, Highland Fling, cute but forgettable. 1% of You by Michelle Gross. This is a like single mom and neighbor trope, and it gave me the ick. But also some parts of it were kind of cute. I'll put that in It Was a Book. I tried to get into the Addicted series this year, and it hasn't clicked for me yet. So far for Addicted and Ricochet, they were just a book. Both of them were just really frustrating to read, but I want to keep going because I know people rave about the series, so I want to know why. The Perfect Child, good but forgettable. I remember hating the ending of this book, like it sucked so bad. Unmissing, It Was a Book. It was entertaining to listen to, but I hated the trope in the end of this book. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I'm gonna put that one in I Almost Loved It. Still really good. The Stopover and The Takeover are both gonna go in It Was a Book. Well, I don't know. I feel like I could go either way with these ones. They could go in cute but forgettable. There was just nothing that stood out to them for me, and I felt like they were way too long. They just kept going and going and going. Twisted Love did not work for me. I don't understand the hype on that one. Okay, Full Tilt by Emma Scott. I'm gonna put that one in Almost Loved It. I was ugly crying by the end of that one though. And then All In is just cute but forgettable. I would recommend you read Full Tilt, but like All In was just unnecessary. Waking Olivia, that one, I'm Still Thinking About You. This one is so good, so angsty. Heartbones by Colleen Hoover, cute but forgettable. After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I almost loved it. How to Fake It in Hollywood, let's see. I'm gonna put this one also in I almost loved it. This is like fake dating between two actors in Hollywood, which normally fake dating is like not my favorite thing, but it made sense in this story because they were like trying to help each other's careers, and it was cute. I liked that one. Archer's Voice, I'm gonna have to put this in cute but forgettable. I listened to this one as an audiobook and I think that that ruined it a little. Something about the voice actors in this one made the whole book feel very cringe to me. Something Borrowed, it was a book. Cheating trope, The Words. I'm also gonna put that one in it was a book because I loved the first like 25% of it. I was really loving, but I hated it from like 20% on. Credence. Oh man, Credence is not forgettable, but I didn't love it. But I'm still just gonna put it in cute but forgettable. I'll just put it in like Reg Av. If you've read it, you know, like this book is messed up, but it was also kind of fun. And like some parts of it still live in my head rent free. So I'm gonna put it there. Punk 57, I Want My Time Back. Wasn't for me. The Friend Zone series by Abby Jimenez. The first one, you're going up here in Still Thinking About You. I'm gonna put the whole series in Still Thinking About You. Actually, the Happy Ever After playlist is gonna go in my 5-star reads of the year. That one just hit so hard. I loved that one. Abby Jimenez is just so good at writing romance books. Like she's amazing at writing like the characters and the banter, and they're funny and they're like easy to read, but they all also have like really, really heavy, serious real life issues going on in them at the same time. These can all technically be standalone novels. Like you don't have to read them in order, but I would. The glimpses of the characters that you see throughout the books, it wouldn't be the same if you didn't read them in orders. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, I always have a really hard time talking about this one because I loved this book. I really enjoyed it, but I truly feel like it was a complete ripoff of Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. Like if you read both of them, they are like carbon copies and it feels like she stole the book. So I'm just gonna put it in Reg Av. The Sinner's Duet by Sophie Lark. These ones are going up here in Still Thinking About You. This is just a really, really fun, dark duet. It's a serial killer romance, and who knew that that would be so fun? The Push, this was a really good thriller. I'm still just gonna put this in regular average. It was really good. It kept me very interested. It's about like a mom who can't connect with her baby, and then that baby kind of grows up to be like a psychopath, and there was a lot of twists. I thought it was good. Alex Approximately, this was a really fun YA. I would put that in I almost loved it. It was really good. This would be like a really fun summer read. Voyeur, I read this one thinking it was just gonna be like a very easy, like fun, smutty book, which it was, but also there was like a lot of like other very heavy, yucky topics in this book. So I'm gonna put it in It Was a Book. Say You Still Love Me by Kay Tucker. I'm gonna put that one up here and I almost loved it. A Second Chance Romance with Past and Present, and the past is at summer camp. This is a really good summertime book. The Roughest Draft, I really liked this one when I read it, but I'm just gonna put it in cute but forgettable. On the Way to You by Candy Steiner. I'm gonna put that in It Was a Book. It was kind of cute and good and I enjoyed reading it, but also the entire book she is reading this dude's diary, and it's like such an invasion of privacy that it like made it hard for me to enjoy the book because I was just like annoyed with her. So Say You Swear, big unpopular opinion. I'm kind of stuck between It Was a Book and I Want My Time Back, but I just thought that this book was so bad. I cannot understand the hype around this book. It was really long and it just felt completely absurd to me. So I'm gonna put that there. Book Lovers, cute but forgettable. Sorry. Okay, A Court of Thorns and Roses. First book in the series. I'm gonna put this in Still Thinking About You. I feel like for the first in a series, it was good. Second book is going into God tier. I loved this one. Same with Act of War. This one just kept me hooked the whole time. I was so into it. Then A Court of Frost and Starlight. I don't know if I would demand my money back from this one, but it was just a book. Like I did not need that. 7 Days in June, one of my favorite books this year. So good. Where the Crawdads Sing. I'm gonna just put this one in like regular average. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bump it down. It was a book. It was just too much describing a swamp for me. The Last Mrs. Parrish, Still Thinking About You. This was a really good thriller. I read this when I was just kind of getting into thrillers, so it really extra thrilled me. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I don't know if I would put this in like my God tier favorite books of the year. Even though I gave this a 5 stars, looking at it next to all these other ones, I think I would only put it here, but I did really, really like that one. The Wife Between Us, this was almost the exact same as The Last Mrs. Parrish, but like not as good. Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey is going in. It was a book. This is a book about a girl who literally is a clown for birthday parties, and there's so much smut and dirty talk in this book. It was a book. People we meet on vacation. I almost loved it. I'm stuck between I almost loved it and Still Thinking About You, but I'm not really still thinking about it. So I'm gonna go here. It is a really good like friends to lovers book. They both die at the end. Cute, but extremely forgettable. It Ends With Us. I would probably put it here now. It was a 5-star read at the beginning of the year, but now it's probably only like a 3 to a 4, maybe. The Love That Split the World. I want my time back. This book is Emily Henry's debut novel, and it was so strange. Love at First Bite. I remember this being just totally average, and I can't really remember very much about it. Same with Swear on This Life by Renee Carlino. It just, nothing about it really stood out. Very Sincerely Yours. I talk about this book all the time. It was the most ridiculous, cheesy, silly rom-com book, but I loved it. It's about a host of a children's show, kind of like Blue's Clues or like Sesame Street vibes, like a young guy who is the host of like a kids show. He's like the main love interest in the book, and it was a pen pal romance, and it was cute. It was just so cute. It Happened One Summer. This one is just cute but forgettable. Tessa Bailey's writing just doesn't do it for me. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, that's definitely like a 5-star for me this year also. Along with Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Those two are in like the same book universe, and I really, really liked both of those. Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. This one was intense. I'm gonna put this one in Almost Loved It. This is a very dark kind of suspense thriller, so look up trigger warnings for that. You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel. This one I'm gonna also just put in cute but forgettable. The first half of this book was so frustrating, but then the second half of it was like really cute and good. The Unhoneymooners. I'm gonna put this one up here in Almost Loved It. Actually, I'm gonna bump this one up to Still Thinking About You because I love like the drama at the end of the book. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, probably an unpopular opinion, but this was just a book. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is like a 5-star read for me, but like I think I would probably only put it in Still Thinking About You. Still amazing, you know, but now thinking back, I don't know if it would quite be up here, but I still love it. Normal People by Sally Rooney. It was a book. Spanish Love Deception, it just didn't work for me. It was so long, and I feel like there are other books that do like the exact same thing better than this one, so I'll put that there. All Your Perfects. This is probably my favorite Colleen Hoover book. I'll put it in Still Thinking About You. It's probably one of her like least problematic books. Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. This one was really cute. It was just like very cute and very fun. I'm gonna put this in I Almost Loved It because this one just does kind of stick out to me. Like it was pretty memorable. It's Grumpy Sunshine, but the sunshine is the boy, and the whole book is like set in a nursing home facility. The Glass Castle. It was a book. I hate reading books about just like horrible parents, and that one is a memoir about a girl, and she is like telling her life story of growing up with the world's worst parents. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. It was a book. Ugh. The Silent Patient, I'm gonna put in regular average. The plot twist in this book was really good, but the rest of the book was boring. The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. This is I'm Still Thinking About You. I rated this one 5 stars, and I don't know if it would still be a 5-star, but it was something about it I just really, really liked. The Love Hypothesis is just cute but forgettable. I didn't think it was that great. If He Had Been With Me, let's see, I'm gonna put this one in I Almost Loved It. I felt like it was like written really good, and it felt a little bit nostalgic to read. It was also very sad. One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one, same. I almost loved it. I cried a lot in that book. Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. Unpopular opinion, but I really liked this one. I think I would put that here. I feel like this was a really good, like fun, beachy read. The trope in it is one that like everybody hates, but I don't know. I really liked this one. I don't know what it was. Confess by Colleen Hoover. This one I'm gonna put in cute but forgettable. Although this is like one Colleen Hoover book that I still like. Lease on Love. This has such a cute cover and was just so silly. The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. This one, I almost loved it. This book was like really cute and wholesome, and it was also filthy at the same time. It's about a woman with high functioning autism who hires a male escort to teach her how to date and like teach her how to be intimate with a man. Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker, same thing, almost loved it. It's kind of boring, but like still really good, but also very, very sad too. Flatshare is also gonna go and I almost loved it. This is about like two roommates who never see each other because they have opposite schedules. They communicate to each other through post-it notes in their apartment. The Deal by Elle Kennedy. Off-campus series. Let's see. The Deal, I'm gonna put in, I almost loved it. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put this in cute but forgettable. And then I literally can't remember anything about the other two in this series that I read. I feel like they were almost exactly the same as the first one. So they definitely belong in the forgettable category. Without Merit by Colleen Hoover, it was a book. The more I think about that one, the less I like it. My favorite, Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. This one is also gonna go in, it was a book. There was a lot of things I liked about this one. Like, I feel like it had a really good, like, fun dynamic with their group of friends. It's literally a book about a girl catfishing her friend because she, like, doesn't want to tell him how she feels about him. That's just so rude. Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. This is gonna go up in, I almost loved it. Very cute, very easy rom-com. Playing Nice by J.P. Delaney. I'm also gonna put this in, I almost loved it. This is about two babies who get switched in the NICU on accident, and their families find out when they are like 2 years old, and so they're trying to figure out if they should switch them back or not. But there's some big twists that happen at the end, and it was kind of wild. Just Haven't Met You Yet. This one was really fun also. I'm gonna put this in, I almost loved it too. The Hating Game, I feel like I rated pretty highly, but now I would just put it in like Reg Av. Okay, more Sophie Luck Mafia. This is Her Brutal Birthright series. Brutal Prince is gonna go in cute but forgettable. Stolen Air is, I almost loved it. Savage Lover, also almost loved it. Bloody Heart, I Want My Time Back. I did not like that one. Broken Vow, cute but forgettable. And then Heavy Crown, this one I'm also gonna put up here and I almost loved it. Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid was a book. Really boring and really sad. A Not So Meet Cute, also a book. I don't get the hype around this one either. It was not for me. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This one, I almost loved it. It's just a very, very cute YA book. The Idea of You by Robin Lee, probably my favorite book I've read this year. I don't know why, I love this book so much, but something about like the writing and just everything about it, I loved. Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover, it was a book. The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. Cute but forgettable, but still very cute. All Roads Lead Here. I'm also gonna put in cute but forgettable. Just really, really long and a really, really slow burn. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This one, I almost loved it. I'll put it here. The Fine Print, I Want My Money Back. I Want My Time Back. I hated this book so much. I don't know why. And then Circe, as much as I can appreciate that this is like wonderful, beautiful writing, it was just so boring. It was a book. Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan, another one of my absolute favorite ones of the year. This one is really intense, so check the trigger warnings before you read that one, but I really liked it. Misbehaved, this is like a taboo teacher-student romance. It was nothing insane, but it was like a good fun smutty time. If you're into that kind of thing, I'll put it in Reg Av. Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, I'll also put in cute but forgettable. Boyfriend's Dad, age gap, smutty. It was just kind of whatever. Things We Got Over by Lucy Score. This one, I actually think I'm gonna put this in I almost loved it category. I really liked all of like the small town feel and like a lot of like the first half of the book. I do think the ending was ridiculous, but I'm gonna put it there. What is this? Hidden Truths. This was a horrible, horrible Kindle Unlimited mafia romance. So bad. I Want My Time Back. Whew, okay, sorry this video is gonna be so long, but those are all 182 books I read this year, all tier ranked. Let me scroll through so you can take one last look at where I put everything, my God tiers, my honorable mentions. It's so wild to see how many books I read like laid out like this. There we go. That's all the books that I read this year. Leave your thoughts on any of these in the comments. If you've read any of these books, I'd love to hear what you think of them. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram, and stay tuned for lots more book content in 2023. I'll see you in the next one.